Hello students, this is Vidya Dhabai here. I welcome you all to my YouTube channel, that is Excel in English by Vidya ma'am. Of course, I would request you all to like, share or subscribe my channel. And students, you can see a link also here. So you can follow me on this link also. Well, hello students, a very warm welcome from Excel in English by Vidya ma'am and Jai Shri Krishna also. Of course, you all know why I wish to like this. As you all know, this is the auspicious occasion of the birth of Lord Krishna. It is worshipped throughout the world in a very enthusiastic way. Before beginning our today's lesson, let us discuss some religious thoughts because these all of us, um the lives of all of us are just led by these thoughts. They play a very important role. If we talk about festivals, every festival gives us some positive message to the society. Well, okay, if we talk about Lord Krishna, I think he's, of course, before discussing a few lines on him, I must say that we all know that God is just the one supreme power who leads the world. But we, the human beings, we do worship him in different ways. This is just the evolution of time, you can say. So like I said, every festival gives some particular message. So Lord Krishna has given a lot of, you can say, teachings in our life. If we talk about the Gita, I would not go into depth of these things, but let me just share one single thought. What message is given by Lord Krishna, which is practically very much true for all of the human beings, is just keep on doing your karma irrespective of the results. So that is the message mainly we should follow in our lives, given by Lord Krishna. Of course, he is a very big inspiration in our lives, but still I think that's sufficient. I would not bore you with all the depth of the religious thoughts. So with these thoughts, let's move ahead with our today's lesson. So as you can see on the screen, and as I have said earlier also, I would be taking some exercises. We will be doing exercises of whatever the topics I have taught you. And if you remember, I just mentioned in my previous lesson also that some rules of singular plural nouns are still left, but that we will continue with the exercises only. So in this lesson we will be doing one exercise where we will be covering all the errors which generally come in the competitive exams, which you have to see which are those errors. So let's begin. So if you can see on the slide, the first sentence goes like that. One thing I must mention, that of course I will be discussing the errors and why this error is there, the reasons also, and those explanations you should note down in your notebooks. Although very briefly I have given the answers of these sentences, the errors which have the answers are given in the slides ahead, but still many things will be there I will be teaching you, which are not given in those answers. So that's why again and again I am saying, just note down the important points wherever, in each and every sentence, whatever important points I am going to tell you, note those points. Okay, so let's start. The first sentence goes like it. Sneha has read pages after pages of Gita. So this is the sentence. Whenever you have such kind of exercises, you just first find out which part of it has the error, right? Now if you see, there are basically three parts. Of course last is no error. So Sneha it does not have any kind of mistake, because Sneha is singular subject and the verb will also go like a singular. So next is read pages after pages, and last part is of Gita. Okay, I think pages after pages I will be explaining all. There is an error in this that I will explain you, and why I am not asking you, because this rule I have not explained you in the previous lessons. But one error which you can find out, which you can locate, is in the C part of Gita. So what is the mistake here? What is the error here? So what is Gita here? Is it a proper noun? Of course it is not a proper noun. Yes, it is a proper noun, but not the name of a person. So if I say it is a proper noun, then what is the mistake? No mistake should be there. Then why I am saying there is a mistake? So what is Gita here? Gita is the name of a religious book, right? So if it is a religious book, and I must mention the error is of an article. Of course we have not done this topic. I will be explaining you in the lessons coming later, but this term is very familiar with you: article, the definite article and the indefinite article. So of course here which article will come? The definite article, that is the. So what is the correct how it is to be corrected? Of the Gita. Now why the with Gita? If you remember the rules of definite articles, where do we use the article the? So lots of rules are there, 9 to 10 things are there where we use the. So of course with names of religious books we use this article the. So this is the first error in this sentence. This sentence contains two errors, right? So the first one we have discussed. Let's move to the second one, that is the B part: read pages after pages. Now you might be wondering what is the mistake in this. You might be feeling confused with that. So let me clarify your confusion. There is a rule when we talk about singular and plural nouns, that whenever two similar nouns are there and in between they have a preposition, in that case the noun is never plural, it is always singular. So what is the mistake here? The mistake or the error here is pages will not come. In place of that, page after page will come, right? So this is also a rule of singular and plural nouns. Remember this thing: whenever same nouns one after the other noun is followed and in between there is a preposition, we do not use the plural form of the noun, we use the singular form of the noun. Let me give you some other examples, and I will tell you the reason also why we follow it like this. Let me take one example. Suppose Alexander conquered cities after cities, or Alexander conquered city after city. So what is the message being conveyed here? What does the sentence mean? Ki first he conquered the first city, then the second city. It will go like this only, na? So that's why we do not use plural nouns. So let me clarify your this confusion with some more examples like this. They distributed the pamphlets door to door, or let us take another example. A door-to-door survey was conducted is correct, or doors-to-doors survey was conducted. So if a survey is conducted, of course the persons who are conducting that survey, they will first go to first door means first house, then the second house. So it goes like in the singular meaning. So that's why we do not use these nouns in plural form. So that is the reason. On some of the other examples, I village after village, rows upon rows is wrong, row upon row is correct. So it goes like this. So I hope you have understood why pages after pages is wrong and The correct thing is page after page, right? Let's move to the second sentence. So it is, ants was given to the beggar. So before locating the error, let me ask you, what is the meaning of ants? Of course, it means the money or the clothes or the food given to the poor, right? So if you just translate this into Hindi, what does it mean? It means bhik dena, ya daan dena. So daan is what? Is it countable? It's not countable, right? So here ants we do not use. It is we have discussed in other rules also. Some nouns always have, they are succeeded by s, but they do not have singular or plural forms. They go like that only. This is about what was I was just discussing what is the meaning of ants. So ants was given to the beggar. So given to is correct, the beggar is also correct. So of course, where does the problem lie? Of course, the first part, ants was. So was will be replaced by were. Ants were given to the beggar. Here one thing I must clarify to you, that although it is used both in singular and plural forms, if grammatically we see, it is used, but in certain situations we use that. Generally it goes with a plural verb. So this is the concept here. So let's move to the third sentence. Whenever Sohan goes to Mumbai, he stays in 5-star hotels. So the sentence is, whenever you have to find errors, just first understand the meaning of the sentence. What is the meaning conveyed in the sentence? You must understand that, right? So whenever Sohan goes to Mumbai, he stays in 5-star hotels. So मतलब जब भी वो मुंबई जाता है वो वहाँ रुकता है. This is the Hindi meaning, right? So now just find out each and every part, where does the mistake or the error lie. Whenever Sohan, no mistake is there, goes to Mumbai, it is correct, because we have to see the verb. So Sohan is singular noun, so the verb will be also singular. To as a preposition is correct. Mumbai, he stays in, he of course for noun, it is correct. Stays, because singular is there, so stays will come, this is also correct. So where does the problem lie? So that means the error is in the last part, that is the D part, 5-star hotels. Now it is not like that he stays in one particular hotel only, because it is not mentioned here. So the meaning which is being conveyed for the sentence is that he stays in any of the 5-star hotels. So the answer I have given in my this sentence only 5-star hotel, not 5 stars, right? So what is the mistake here? It is stars. So let me clarify why it is wrong. So the 5, it will be like that. Whenever Sohan goes to Mumbai, he stays in 5-star hotels. It will go like this. So now let me clarify why stars is wrong here. If you see 5-star, which kind of noun is this? Of course it is hyphenated compound noun, right? And 5 is a numerical adjective, or you can say 5-star word itself, it is acting like it is a phrasal adjective, right? So 5-star is describing the category of the hotel, right? So this all I have discussed this thing earlier also when we began this topic, singular and plural nouns, that adjectives do not have plurals, right? So that's why 5 stars will not come. Of course hotel is the noun here, so its plural is, it's okay, it's correct. So that is the rule here. So let me clarify once again. So which rule is there? It is when the cardinal adjective is used in the hyphenated noun, with a hyphen and with a singular or plural noun. So we never use s with the hyphenated part, right? Of course, another rule related to this only we will be discussing, that is hyphenated compound nouns with the numericals only, but with the units of measurements, that we will be discussing later on in this lesson only. But now let's move to the next sentence. So I hope it is clear what is the mistake here. Stars will not come, star will come, right? So let's move to the next sentence. The company has ordered some new equipments. So this is the sentence. So just find out, locate where is the problem, what is the error here. The company, of course it is correct. Has ordered is also correct, because company is it's a noun, and it is used in singular form only. Of course companies also we use, but here it is correct. With the company, has will go, so no mistake in this. Some new equipments, so the problem lies here. Some new equipments. If you see this word equipments, is it correct? Have you used this word equipments, or have you read it anywhere? Of course not. So the word which is wrong here, it is in the C part, and it is the word equipments is wrong. In place of equipments, equipment is the correct word which we have to use here. And let me now tell you the reason why it's like that. Just whenever some mistake is there in singular or plural nouns, just first locate which kind of noun is that. So if you see, equipment is an uncountable noun, like other nouns, information, review, advice. It's just like an uncountable noun, and we do not have plurals of uncountable nouns, so that is the reason. So let's move to the next sentence, which is he was advised to take 2 spoonsful of medicine 3 times a day. Now just break up the sentence, as it is already being broken up. He was advised to take, the first part goes like that. So he was advised, if you remember, which form of voice is this? When I am saying voice, it means active or passive voice. You might be familiar with that, active and passive voice. So he was advised is the passive form, but the point of discussion is not this thing here. This was just an additional information I wanted to give to you. So he was advised to take, right? To take is which kind of verb? It is, of course, non-finite verb. To take is infinitive, so it is also correct. So no mistake in first part. Next is 2 spoonsful. Now let me see whether there is a mistake or not. And the third part is of medicine 3 times a day. Of medicine is also correct, because spoonful of medicine or spoonsful of medicine, of will of course come with medicine, so it is correct. The preposition is also correct here. 3 times a day, this formation is also correct. So the problematic area is B part, that is 2 spoonsful, right? So this is, remember and listen it very carefully. This is another rule which I am going to discuss, which we have not discussed earlier when I was explaining you the rules. So let me clarify and just listen once again. I am saying listen carefully. There are some rules. Of course, 2 spoonfuls is it's a compound noun, spoonsful. But one thing must you let me clarify, that when earlier spoonsful was the correct answer. If we talk about the earlier times, it grammatically it was correct, but in present times it is considered wrong. And beside that, if you remember, I have discussed with you how to make plural of the compound nouns like mother-in-law or passerby. So what did I tell you? How to make plural of those nouns? One rule which I gave is that generally we make plural of the principal word or the key word, like passers by. So what you will use? Where you will use plural form? S. Where you will use S? Of course, passers by. Similarly, mother-in-law. Of course, law we cannot make plural, so S will go to mother. So mothers-in-law. So same rule apply here also, that in compound nouns the principal word is being made plural. So the principal word here is spoon. So in that, if we think in that way, then spoonsful is correct. But in present times, again I am saying, earlier it was considered correct, but in present times we do not consider this as correct. So spoonsful is wrong and spoonfuls is correct. And what is the meaning this part of the sentence convey? That means 2 spoons full or 2 spoonfuls means 2 spoons full of. When we fill 2 spoons of anything, any material, it can be liquid or solid. So this is the rule. Let me once again clarify the rule. See, it is what is spoon here? Spoon is the substantive noun, and of course full is adjective here. So older concept was that since full is adjective, so we will not add s to this and we will add s to spoon. But in present times the rule has changed. Now spoonfuls is correct. Once again I am saying spoonfuls is correct in this, right? So it goes like this. So let me take some other examples to so that no confusion lies with you, and you are familiar with the other terms also. So some of the other examples are first I will give you the example of spoonfuls only. It is like that: you can visibly see how many spoonfuls go to an ounce. So this is an example of spoonfuls. And other words just like this, which in which we do not add s to the substantive noun, are like this, like armfuls, cupfuls, boatfuls. Let me take a sentence now. Boatfuls of women. We saw boatfuls of women in the river yesterday. So these are some of the other examples where this kind of you can say how the noun is being made plural, right? So it is all about this example. Let's move to the next one. So the sentence is: the police have received important informations that can help them solve the murder case. Quite a long sentence. Okay, I hope you have understood the meaning. I will just tell you the meanings of those words or those sentences in which you might feel that or I might feel that you may be having problem in understanding the meaning. The meaning is not correctly being conveyed to you. In that case, I will explain you the meaning or the meaning of the difficult words. Otherwise, if the sentence is very simple, no need to explain the meaning. I hope you understand. So what does the meaning of the sentence is there? The police have received important informations that can help them solve the murder case. So of course, whenever police have to solve some cases, they have to collect lot of you can say facts. Why did I say facts? Because any one cannot be convicted on the basis of imaginary piece of news or like that. So that is the thing here. So it is the sentence is about that. So let us now see one by one each part which can have the error. The police have received. See, here also a rule of singular or plural nouns goes. If you remember, we have discussed that some nouns just we take them as singular in singular form, but their meaning conveyed is plural. And the word police, always the verb which goes with the word police, the noun police, is always the plural verb. So the first part is correct, have is correct. Why I mentioned this? Because many times sentence errors come in this part also, although in this sentence it is not given, but this kind of error also comes in the competitive exams. The police have many students think that has is correct. No, the word, the noun police always carries plural verb. Note it down. Police, the noun police always carries a plural verb. So this part of the sentence is correct. The police have received. Next, important information. Important is adjective and information is noun, right? Informations. So let's see whether this part has a problem or the next part. Let's first see the next part. That can help them solve the murder. That can help is correct because that is used for the information, the noun informations. Can help them solve the murder. Preposition, no preposition is there, but otherwise the meaning of the sentence is correct. Grammatically it is correct. So the problem lies, the error is informations. And I hope very well you have understood, because we have discussed these rules related to this kind of nouns in my previous lessons. So why informations is wrong? Why it is wrong? So what kind of noun is information? Countable or uncountable? Of course it is uncountable. So how we can use s with it? If it is uncountable, how we can use s? Of course. So what is which word is wrong? Informations is wrong. So the correct word, correct noun which is to be used here is information. And the rule, as you all know, some nouns always exist in singular form. We have discussed this thing earlier also, so I will not go into the depth of that. Some of the other nouns like this are scenery, advice, furniture, hair, wastage. So all these are uncountable nouns. But let me clarify one point, that if we have to use such kind of noun in countable form, then we have to use some words, and one of that word is a piece. A piece of information is also correct. If we have to use them as countable form, in countable form, then we have to use the word piece. Like bread. Bread is uncountable noun, but if I want to use that in countable form, like one single piece of bread, so this is also correct, a piece of bread. So in here I am using bread as a countable form. So just you should always remember this thing also, right? Now I hope it is clear. So let's move to the next sentence. Envy strikes a woman when she sees her husband talking to another woman. So the sentence is like this. Just listen it again. Envy strikes a woman when she sees her husband talking to another woman. So let me, as earlier said, of course if I think some word is difficult for you or you do not understand the meaning, so I will just explain you the meaning also. So here I feel I must explain you the meaning of envy. Envy strikes, first let's take the sentence as a whole. Envy strikes a woman when she sees her husband talking to another woman. This is a general concept that no woman wants that her husband should be very much friendly to some other woman. This is a just natural behavior pattern of women. So this is all the sentence about. So envy strikes a woman. Strikes is the correct verb being used here. So when she sees her husband, sees is correct because we are using singular noun, so singular verb will come. Talking to another woman, the correct use of preposition also. Another is also correct. This concept also I will be explaining you in my coming lessons. How do we use another Why do we use with uh, singular noun with the word another? So let's see. So let me just tell you the meaning of envy. Envy means, see, it is uh, this topic also I will be discussing with you in my later lessons, that the words which whose meaning generally confuse you, right? There are many words whose meanings generally children get confused. Like I talk about the meaning of air or wind, I'm dead sure about this thing. Many students might be confused ki what is exactly what is the meaning of air or what is the meaning of wind. Some other words like this are price and cost, house and home. So generally children get confused in the exactly meaning of these kind of words, and I will be taking this topic as a lesson later on, in where I will clarify the meaning between these words, what each word exactly means. So let's come to our sentence only. So there envy and another word which is very much similar to this word is that is jealousy. So these are very similar words, and often generally people or children get confused between both of these words, but they are slightly different. Their meaning, both of the meaning of these words, envy and jealousy, they have a little bit difference in their meanings. So let me clarify. So actually, what is the meaning of envy? Envy means, let me first tell you the meaning of jealousy, because that is more familiar word with you. So jealousy means when we have fear of losing some person or thing which we already have, right? So why I am telling you the meaning of jealousy, you also can just think ki envy will come here or jealousy will come. So jealousy means the fear we have to lose some person or thing we already have, whereas envy means the resentful desire of something already possessed by someone. Resentful desire means the willingness to have something, right? So this is the difference between both of these words. So here, of course, envy, when I told you the meaning, that meaning is resentful desire, but here desire is not being the meaning conveyed here, no? So envy does not fit here. The word envy does not fit here in the meaning of the sentence. So the word which fits here exactly is jealousy. Only then this sentence as a whole will have some sensible meaning. So the error here which lies is envy. In place of envy we will use jealousy. So the sentence will go like this: jealousy strikes a woman when she sees her husband talking to another woman. So with this, let's move to the next sentence. The sentence is like, two summons have been issued by the court, but Sohan has not yet appeared before the court. So I hope you have understood the meaning, but you can understand the meaning if you know the meaning of summons. What does the word summons mean? Only then you can understand. Although some words are given, like court is given, so you by guessing also you can understand the meaning, because actually summons are issued by the court only. This is a legal word. Legal, it is connected with legality. So but Sohan has not yet appeared before the court. So that means he has been issued that particular document, but he has not gone there. He has not appeared in front of the judge or judicial system. So let us see what is the mistake here, what is the error here in this sentence. Two summons. So two means, of course, plural. Summons have been issued by the court. First, but before discussing, finding out the error, let me discuss what does the word summons mean. Is it a singular noun or is it a plural noun? Let me clarify to you students. Summons is actually a singular noun. Now you might be wondering, summons is singular noun, so what is summon then? So my dear students, summon is not a noun, it is a verb. It is and I will just tell you what is the meaning also of this. So summon is actually, it means when order a person to come to a place. So the meaning of the word summon is to order a person to come to a particular place. So that thing does not fit here. It is, if it is a verb, of course it will not come. Now let's come to summons. So why summons is wrong here? Because as earlier said, summons is a singular noun, but the word to is given and the verb which is given here is also have. So that means the problem lies with summons. So that means we have to use the plural form of the word of the noun summons. So the plural form of the word summons is summonses. Although it is difficult to pronounce, but let me clarify in another way. We will add es to summons, because summons is singular verb. To make it plural, we have to add es to this noun. So the correct word is that. Let me now take some other examples. As earlier I said that summon is a verb. So let me tell you an example of that. Like boys were summoned to principal's office. So here the word summon is acting like a verb, or it is the verb here. But if I have to take it as a noun, let me give you an example. She could not summon up the courage to ask her boss. So here also summon is a verb, of course in the form of a phrase. So the next sentence in which we will be using it as a noun is the judge issued a summons to the culprit. So it is a summons. Here the message is clear that summons is a singular noun. But if we have to use it as a plural, so we will the sentence will go like this: the judge issued summonses to the culprits. So in this way, the singular and the plural form of the word summons. The singular summons and the plural summonses. Right? Now let's move to the next sentence. Sheep are economically very useful and so they are reared for wool and meat. So I hope you have understood meaning why generally sheep are kept by human beings. So here it is just related to domestication of animals. So why sheep are kept? Sheep, I will clarify which is correct here. But why do people keep sheep? Of course to get wool and meat, right? Now economically, if you say this is just an adverb here, economically means they are not very their cost of keeping is not very high. So sheep are economically very useful and so they are reared for wool and meat. So people, the shepherds keep this animal for their livelihood, right? Now why sheep is wrong here? If you remember, when we were doing singular and plural nouns, many nouns are there which generally exist in singular form only. If you remember, do you remember? Of course, some of the examples, let me clarify this by giving examples to you. Such examples are the nouns like review, scenery, crockery, luggage, bread, or you can say wastage. So these are some of the nouns which generally go in singular form only, right? We do not add s. They are not succeeded by s to make their plural form. So that's why sheeps is wrong here and sheep is correct. So the correct form is sheep are economically very useful and so they are reared for wool and meat. Now let me clarify one very important point here also, that as I earlier said, this we can use in singular form also and we can use in plural form here also. So in this sentence the noun sheep is being used in the plural form, right? So this is the correct thing here, that we will not use sheeps, we will use sheep in place of that. Of course we use sheep noun in plural form also and in singular form also. Let me clarify it by using this in a sentence. He bought a sheep. So here also we are using sheep. So this way, let's move to the next sentence. All the evidences were against him and he was held guilty. Now, do you know the meaning of evidence? Before just locating the error, let me ask you, what does the meaning evidence? What does the word evidence mean, and what does the word guilty mean? Of course, both are related to some legal terms also, like court or criminals and all that. So these two words are related to that. So before before just locating the error, you should understand the meaning also, and to understand the meaning of the sentence, you should know the meanings of the words coming in the sentence. So what does the word evidence mean? So evidence means, or evidences, I will clarify which is correct. Evidence means the available body of facts. Why I said facts? Because there are some particular you can say facts are given, that is known as evidence only. If facts are not there, we cannot call that evidence, because if we talk about the judicial you can say progressings going on in the court, so on what basis the judgments are given? Of course, the judgments are given on the evidences given by both the parties in the court. So that's why the word fact is used. So the facts given, those in the court or in any kind of judicial process or in the police investigations, evidences term is used there. So those should be the facts only. So that is the meaning of the word evidence. Now if we talk about the word evidence, and if you remember that, is it a countable noun or it's an uncountable noun? Evidence is countable or uncountable? So of course it is uncountable noun, and with uncountable nouns, as discussed earlier also, we do not use s. They come in singular form. Now I will tell you why. Evidence is actually a whole collection of the facts, right? It is just like the word, let me clarify this with some other examples. Suppose we use the word machinery or machine. So what is the difference between machine or machinery? If we talk about machinery, it is uncountable noun, but if I say machine, it is countable, right? So this is the difference. So evidence is uncountable, that's why it will not take s with it. And of course, let me clarify this thing also, that evidence with this singular verb will also go, but here it is why were is given. So you might be wondering, if it is evidence, then why were? So actually grammatically if we see, earlier evidences and now also evidences are used if they are countable. Now you will say, earlier I said it is an uncountable noun, now you say countable. So when we take it as countable form, when the facts given are individually we can count them. In that form it is used as plural. So this was a point to be noted here, that it come in both forms, but here all the evidence were given, because this is here it is acting as a whole body of the facts. That's why evidence word will be used here. Let me give you some more examples so that the meaning is clear to you. The cave contained evidence of prehistoric times. So here also evidence is correct, evidences will not come. Okay. So the next sentence goes like this. Oh, it's very easy, just like the previous one. No need of explanation in this. Let's see what is the sentence. There are 2 scores of books which are lying unused in the library. So let's see the sentence. There are 2 scores of books which are lying unused in the library. Just see, because I have already just given you the hint. It is just like the previous sentence. So what is the mistake here? This is also related to the unit of measurement. When we talk about unit of measurements as nouns, so this it is related to that rule only. So the rule which I explained you in the previous sentence, same rule applies here. So here the mistake, the error is scores. It is score will come in place of scores, and the rule which we discussed in the previous sentence, that only lies here. Same thing when we say dozens of eggs, it is correct, but when we use some numerical adjective with this, then it is because we are using 2 here, so scores will not come, score will come. Okay, now let's move to the next sentence. The sentence is, although she has studied English for almost a year, she is yet to learn the alphabets. First understand the meaning of the sentence and which parts of the speech or which other concept of grammar is given here. Just relate that only, then you understand the meaning very clearly. Although she has studied English for almost a year, I don't think there's any mistake in this. The meaning is that for 1 year she has been studying English, and although is you will know it is a connector, it is in conjunction, it is connecting the sentences. And if you see, if you remember correlative conjunctions, so in this sentence we have correlative conjunctions. When we use 2 conjunctions in one sentence, those are correlative conjunctions. So the conjunctions which are being used here are although and yet, right? Like if we talk about this in Hindi, कि ऐसा है फिर भी ऐसा है फिर भी ऐसा है, like in that sense. So although she has studied English for almost a year, she is yet to learn the alphabets. Now I think if you see just in once you see the sentence, it might look like it is correct. There is no mistake in this, and many students, I think, they will opt for no error in this sentence. But my dear students, of course there is an error in this. Let me tell you, the problem is the word which is wrong here is alphabets. Now I will tell you why it is wrong. If you remember those words, just in some other sentence also I just mentioned it, that some nouns are there, their meaning totally changes when we add s to those nouns, right? If you remember water, waters, and good, goods, custom, customs, air, airs, quarter, quarters. So these are some of the words when their singular meaning is different and their plural meaning goes in a different way. So it is just like that. So here the word which is wrong here is alphabets. In place of alphabets we have to use alphabet. Now let me clarify why we have to use alphabet here. And before that you should know what is the meaning of alphabet and what is the meaning of alphabets, right? So if I say alphabet, it means we are talking about the alphabets of English language as a whole entity, as a whole, you can say not quantity, I would say as a whole body, right? So if we talk about as a whole body, then or a whole concept, then of course the noun which comes is uncountable. So, and if it is uncountable, and here alphabet we will not use, so alphabet is correct. Why? Now let me clarify what is the meaning of alphabets. The noun as alphabets, it means the individual characters of English language. And if I say individual character, it means the letters of the English language individually. That means it becomes a countable noun, right? So alphabets, the noun alphabets is a countable noun, and alphabet is uncountable noun, because when we talk about alphabet, it is we talk about the letters as a whole, as a concept, and if we talk about alphabets, these are individuals. So of course the meaning which is being conveyed here is that it is the individual letters of English language we are not talking here in this sentence, so that's why we will use alphabet, not alphabets. Okay, let's see what is the next sentence. It is never my business to give an advice to those who are not sensible enough to deal with their own problems. Quite a long sentence. Let's read it once again so that the meaning is clear to you. It is never my business to give. Now, never my business, remember this thing. Let's discuss the other parts of the sentence also in this. Never my business is actually a phrase which means ki generally you might be using this phrase also, that I do not have nothing to do, I have nothing to do with. It conveys this meaning. So it is never my business to give an advice to those who are not sensible enough to deal with their own problems. So the meaning of this sentence is that he does not want to give advice to those people who cannot solve their problems themselves. The meaning of the sentence goes like this. So let's see what is the mistake here. What is the although it's not a very difficult to locate the error in this sentence, because I have explained you the meaning of the first part. Then an advice to, advice is a noun here, and you have to see which noun, whether what is the mistake here, or there is a mistake here, it is a mistake or not. Let's see the next part. Those who are not, so those is correct because it is being it is referred for the people sensible enough to deal with their own problems. I don't think there is any grammatical mistake in this. So the problem lies with the second part, and advice to. So what is the meaning of word advice? Advice means suggestion. So which kind of noun is suggestion or which kind of noun is advice? Of course both are abstract nouns, and if abstract noun, they are uncountable and they denote singularity also, right? So that means they are always used in singular form because they are uncountable, right? And do we use articles with uncountable nouns? Do we use a or an, the indefinite article with uncountable nouns? Of course not. So what is the mistake? The use of an. So what is correct? So the correct sentence will go like this: It is never my business to give advice to those who are not sensible enough to deal with their own problems. Because advice is uncountable noun, we will not use and with this. Yes, let me remind one thing, although I have discussed this in my previous sentences also, that if we have to make some nouns countable, we have to use some words. Like if we have to make it countable, we have to use a piece of advice, not an advice. So in that form it is correct. A piece of advice, if we use here, then it can be correct, but an advice is wrong here. So I hope it is correct. And some of the other nouns, although I have explained this to you earlier, information, bread, and I will not repeat it again. So with this, let's move to the next sentence. It's, I don't think it is your book, it is somebody's else. Very short sentence, but a little bit tricky, and more tricky for you, I think, because this concept we have not discussed earlier. So I will explain you the concept here. Let's read the sentence again. I don't think, this part is correct, it is your book. This is one full sentence. I don't think it is your book. ये तुम्हारी बुक नहीं है, मैं ऐसा सोचता हूँ. The next part of the sentence is, it is somebody's else. किसी और की है. Right? So the problem lies in this part. Somebody's else. Now remember this thing, that if you just remember what did I say in my previous lesson, that some of the topics which I will be covering up in my coming lessons is the use of apostrophe in nouns, right? So here also, if you see, apostrophe has been used, and although we have not discussed, because this is quite a broader concept, the use of apostrophe, for this I need a full-fledged lesson in which I will be explaining different ways how apostrophe is used in different situations. So that is a different topic, but let's come to this thing only. Let me explain what is so in this it is somebody's else is wrong. So apostrophe will be using not with somebody but with else. So this is the wrong part here. So like, let me clarify this with some more examples. Like, see, when we use apostrophe, what does it convey? So it shows possession. Like if I say somebody else's book, it means book of some other person. So that means it is showing the possession. So generally this is a case related to the hyphenated nouns. Since why I am saying hyphenated compound noun, or because here it is not hyphenated but it is a compound noun, somebody. And when we use apostrophe in compound noun, there are certain rules to be followed. So it is related to that only. That so like I said, book of somebody. Generally, so see, what is somebody here? Of course, it is acting as a noun, right? But sometimes in some sentences, or you can say this is a pronoun also, but that concept does not apply here. Here it is being used as a noun phrase. Somebody else is a noun phrase. So here we have to follow the rule of the noun phrase. And which kind of noun? Of course, which case is there? If you remember, although I have not taken took a lesson, I have not taken a lesson in this topic, the cases of noun. I will be taking this in my further lessons, but let me briefly explain you that if you might be familiar, I don't know whether you are familiar or not, possessive case of noun, in that we use apostrophe. So this is a case of possession in hyphenated compound nouns. Of course, this is a compound noun, so that rule will apply here. So some other examples, let me give you some other examples also, where we use apostrophe s with else, not with the you can say indefinite noun. anybody else car. So anybody, the apostrophe s we will not be used with anybody, it will be used with else. So it means anybody else car means the car of some other person, right? So these are some of the noun phrases, but here I might mention you some other hyphenated compound nouns in possessive case, like Governor General's warning. So what is the meaning being conveyed here in this phrasal noun? The warning given, warning of Governor General. So we have used apostrophe in the second part. Remember this thing, we have used in the second part. Similarly, let's take another example. Passerby's attention. Attention of passerby. So same rule is being applied here, which is being applied in this sentence, which we were discussing, somebody else. So with this, let's move to the next sentence and the last one. It is, children are prone to making mischiefs if they have nothing to do. So of course children are very naughty, and if we talk about the mischiefs, or you can say pranks, or all these things are done by children only, and they are just you can say tolerable to everybody. These are not serious matters. So let's see what is the mistake here. Mischiefs, first before discussing let me tell you that the error here is mischiefs, but you should know what is the meaning of mischief, right? Of course it is a behavioral pattern of children, generally related to children, I must say. So all the acts which are done by children, just like pranks or any jokes which does not harm, which do not harm anybody, right? So those acts made by children are generally known as, or generally called, mischiefs, or mischief. But the point is why mischiefs is wrong here, and why mischiefs is we cannot use in this situation, why mischief should be used, right? So let me clarify this point, why it is being used here. So first you should always recognize that what kind of noun is this. If I say ki mischiefs is wrong here, we should use mischief here, then which kind of noun is this? So of course when I am saying ki as should not be added here, that means if as is not to be added, it is an uncountable noun. That's why only we are just taking the correct form as mischief, not the mischiefs. So that means it is considered a singular noun generally, right? So that means but let me clarify this, there is an exception in this. Why I am saying I have to explain it more, little bit of this noun, that generally we considered mischief like other uncountable nouns, information or like that. It is a singular uncountable noun, because when we consider the acts as a whole, then we use mischief. Because why I am saying this, in grammatical world, you can say sometimes mischiefs word is also used. Although here we have to use mischief, but sometimes it is also used. Let me clarify how we use this by giving you example as a form of sentence. Like the first sentence is, he did many mischiefs. Let me clarify, both the sentences which I am speaking are correct, but you try to understand what is the difference between both of these sentences. The first one is, he did many mischiefs. Now remember, here I am using mischiefs. Now you will say ki in the sentence ma'am said ki mischiefs is wrong, mischief you should use. Now here I am giving you the example of mischiefs, but just listen both the sentences, then understand what I am trying to convey you. The first one is, he did many mischiefs. And the second sentence is, he made much mischief. So what difference you see between the two sentences? See, in the previous sentence, I have used many. The adjective many. Many conveys the meaning that countable. We use many for countable. And in the second sentence, I have used much, which we use for uncountable things. So that's why mischief will come in the second sentence and mischiefs will come in the first sentence. Another thing which you should remember, when I spoke the word, he did many mischiefs, we are using the verb did, and in the next, he made much mischief. So there's difference between the two sentences. So this is the way we can use mischief and mischiefs in two different circumstances, two different situations. So once again, let me remind why I have used mischief here. When all the acts combine together, the meaning which is being conveyed in the sentence is in the form of that all the acts combine together, then we use mischief. S will not be added to that. Okay, so that's why mischief is correct in this sentence. So that's all for today's lesson. Quite a longer lesson. With these words, let me conclude. Once again, I congratulate, I wish you again on the eve of Janmashtami. Let's once again let me remind what does Lord Krishna what was the message given by Lord Krishna to the masses every time. Just follow that, keep on doing hard work. Another thing which I would like to add to this is the act of Arjun. Like he always used to just many stories are related to that. Just keep target, just have your concentration, full concentration on the target only then you can succeed the way Arjun succeeded, and not the other Pandavas or Kauravas. So just keep this concept always in your mind. Just concentrate on the target which you want to achieve, just leaving all the other things. So with these words I conclude. Thank you. So students, I hope till now you might have understood all the rules, whatever we discussed, and the errors, what kind of errors generally come in competitive exams. It might be clear to you, although still many sentences are there in which you will be, I will be telling you other errors which generally come in exams, especially the here we are discussing the noun errors of nouns. So with this, let's move to the next sentence, which is, statistics shows that there is going to be a big economic slowdown. Now this is a special sentence. Why I am saying this? It is a special sentence because it relates with our present times which are going on. Why I am saying this? Because of the word given here, economic slowdown. I hope you might have guessed what I am talking about. Economics. What does the term economic slowdown means? When the whole of the economy of the country is not progressing, it is on the downward slope. So in present times, because of the lockdown, of course the economy of India has been affected. So it is, that's why I said ki this sentence relates to the present times. Now let's move to the error part. What is the error in the sentence? Let's see. Statistics shows that there is going to be a big economic slowdown. So what is the mistake here? Well, first just to find out, like we did in the previous sentences, which part are correct, which you are sure that these parts are correct, there is no mistake in that. So let's see that. Statistics shows that there is going to, no mistake in the second part. First, statistics, of course it is a noun, and we have discussed the rules related to this in my previous lessons also. be a big economic slowdown. Economic slowdown, I have already discussed with you what does this mean. So where does the problem lie? So if you see statistics, what kind of noun is it? Is it countable noun or is it uncountable noun? Do you remember when we discussed this in one of my previous lessons? Like, is it countable or is it uncountable? Just relate this to the other subjects like physics, mathematics. I hope now you remember what I am trying to tell you. So these are some of the nouns. Statistics, the subject also, or the noun, comes in under that category, that when we use this as a subject, like a subject of study, then they are considered singular in meaning, right? Like mathematics is a difficult subject, so here we are considering it as a singular noun, right? So here also, but if you remember, I don't know how much of you remember this thing, that I have told you at that time that these like mathematics, physics or statistics, if we consider them as a subject, then they go in singular form, or singular verbs we use with them. But if we talk them as individual, as problems, like problems of physics, like problems of maths, then they come under the category of countable nouns, right? So the same thing is with the words, with the noun statistics, that if we consider statistics as a collection of some kind of information, some kind of data, then it is a plural noun. And if we consider it as a subject, then it is a singular noun. But here, if you see the sentence, here it conveys the meaning as a collection of data, right? So that means it should, what is wrong here? Of course, statistics is not wrong, because always s is added, it exists in this form only. So statistics, this noun is correct. That means the problem lies with the verb here. So shows is wrong here. In place of shows, the correct verb to be used is show, right? So that means the noun statistics have been used here in plural form, in the form of data, the collection of data. So I hope you understood the concept here. So let's move to the next sentence. That is, let's see what is it. Orders of his transfer has been issued by the ministry. No, not a difficult sentence. I hope you have understood. So the meaning. But before discussing what is the error here, let me ask you, is the word order also used as a verb, or is it a noun, or what is it? So think about it. Like first let me discuss order. What is the meaning of order? If it is used as a noun, then it means a sequence or an arrangement of things, right? The chairs were placed in order like this. So here it means in sequence. So here it is acting as a noun, right? So but it is singular, right? But if I say he ordered the dinner, so here it is acting like a verb. Now let's come to orders. So orders, if I talk about, it is not the sequence. It is not the sequence here, which I just told you the meaning of the order. So that means it also relates to that rule. If you just link with that, that when there are many words whose singular meaning, if we use it as singular term, then the meaning is something else. And when we use it as plural form, that means when s is added to that, the meaning totally changes. If you remember that, like air, ears, these are totally two different words. Both convey different meaning, and some of the other words like water, waters. This I have discussed in my previous lesson also, if you remember. So that the meaning of water is different, waters is different. Similarly, good, goods, custom, customs. Both words as singular and meaning and plural convey two different meanings, right? So same thing is applied here also. The word order is also a noun and orders is also a noun, but the meaning of both of these words is, both of these nouns is different. So let's come to the sentence. Orders, here orders is plural, so it is the plural noun. It is acting like a, it exists in a plural form. So what is the mistake here, what is the error here? Orders of his transfer have been issued by the ministry. Now let me clarify why have. Now you will be confused कि for which noun we should use the verb here. Orders of his transfer. So transfer is not the verb, not the noun which is being talked about. Orders, the verb which is to be connected is with the noun orders, right? So that's why have will come, that is the plural verb will come, because it is related with the plural verb. So in place of has, have will come. So the sentence will be like this: orders for his transfer have been issued by the ministry. Okay, now let's move to the next sentence. A series of matches are being played in Wankhede Stadium. Very simple sentence, no need of explanation of any kind of word here, all are very simple one. The thing which you have to recognize here is the noun, because we are doing errors in noun. So just look at the error of noun. What is the error of noun here? Because other part are correct here, right? Although in many sentences some verbs were incorrect, we have corrected the verbs also, but in this sentence the error is in the noun. So let us just see what is the error here. The rest of the part of the sentence is correct. A series of matches are being played in the Wankhede Stadium. So as I had said ki there are some sentences where we have the error of verbs also. So in this sentence also we have the error of just you try to find out ki whether the error of verb is here or error of noun is here. A series of matches. Now series is which noun? If we talk series in individual form, it is uncountable noun, series. But if we add a to that, like a piece of bread, as I explained you in the previous sentences, when we add piece to a piece of information, then it becomes countable noun, right? Similarly, series, if we talk individually, it is uncountable noun, but when we add a series of a to it, it becomes a countable noun. So this part is correct, a series of matches. But here series is actually what kind of noun? It is collective noun. And if you remember, generally most of the times with collective nouns we generally, which kind of verb is used, singular or plural? So with the collective nouns always singular verb goes. So the error here is are in place of are, is will come. So the sentence goes like this: a series of matches is being played in Wankhede Stadium. Again I must mention that this is the passive form. If we talk about voice, this is the passive form, not the active form, is being played. If you see this part of the word of the sentence, from this you can guess this is the passive form of the sentence, is being played in the Wankhede Stadium. Okay, let's see what is the next sentence about. The 20 days tour in the southernmost part of the country were very interesting. So let's see, the 20 days tour in the southernmost part of the country were very interesting. Let's see what is the error in this sentence. So let me just give you a clue. There is not one error, there are two errors in this sentence. Let me see whether you can find it out or not. Let's see. The 20 days tour is any you trip to any place. Collectively for many days it is called tour. In the southernmost part, now the use of preposition is correct, of the country were very interesting. Now tour is which kind of noun? Tour is an abstract noun, and with abstract nouns I hope you remember what are abstract nouns and what are concrete nouns. So tour, if you relate to that the sense organs concept, it is an abstract noun, and with abstract nouns generally which form of the verb goes? Of course the singular. So just see the last part of the sentence, were very interesting. So of course were is wrong here. In place of were, was will come. Was very interesting. So this is the first error, and let's see what is the second error. The second error, of course, in the southernmost part, it is there is no mistake. Of the country, no mistake is there. So the problem lies with the first part, that is the 20 days tour. So this is although some part of it I have explained you in one of the previous sentences. If you remember, hyphenated compound nouns with numerical adjectives. Do you remember now? In one of the sentences I discussed this thing, I think in the beginning only. So if you remember that, so this is the noun, which kind of noun is being given here? It is of course hyphenated compound noun, and if we further categorize it, then it is a hyphenated compound noun with the numerical adjective followed by a noun, right? So that means if you remember that 5 stars in the beginning only, second or third sentence, so what was the mistake in that? Of course stars was wrong, right? So that means when you are using phrasal adjective, so it will come in singular form only, right? And here also that rule is being applied here. So the problem, the error which is there is days is wrong, right? I will explain this concept further, because I think we have not done this in my previous lessons, this rule of singular and plural nouns. So let me clarify. So what is wrong here? Days is wrong here. I will explain you why. Which rule is being applied here? The rule which is being applied here is about when we use hyphenated words in phrase as adjectives before the noun, especially in case of measurements, the units which we use for measurement, right? Now what do we use for measurement, like meters or days or rupees or grams or like that? So whenever we use these numerical adjectives with those units of measurement, then we do not use plural of those the numericals, the cardinal numbers, right? When I say cardinal numbers, it means 100 or 2 or 20 as it is given here. So we do not use the plural form. So the thing which is wrong here is days. So it will go like this: the 20-day tour in the southernmost part of this country was very interesting. So the correct sentence is this. So there were two mistakes, two errors in this sentence. The first one was instead of days, day will come, and instead of were, we will use was, because the verb were is going with tour, and tour is an abstract noun. So in place of were, we will use was. Now let me take some more examples of this measurement concept which I was discussing, because this thing we have not discussed earlier in my previous lessons. So some of the other examples I will give you in this. Let me take a sentence: a 10-year-old boy was standing there. If I use instead of 10 year, if I use the a 10 years old boy. So is it correct? Of course it is not correct, because year, the word year is a word used as a unit of measurement, and when we use this in the form of numerical adjective, of course with adjectives we do not use plural forms, so that's why it will come in singular form only. Some of the other examples, before taking some other examples, let me clarify this sentence only with another example. Like earlier I said, a 10-year-old boy was standing there, so year will come, not years. Years is wrong here. Similarly, if I use this sentence in some other form, he is a 10 years old. He is 10 years old. Now, what is the difference between these two sentences? The first one, a 10-year-old boy was standing there, and the second one, he is 10 years old. Why I have added s in the second sentence? So that is the reason lies with that only, that the first one, 10-year word is a hyphenated compound noun, and also we are using a unit of measurement here. So in that case singular term will come. So that is the reason, and of course I will be discussing this topic in my further lessons also. But let's move to the next sentence. It goes like this: Sarah has given me 6 dozen pens of different varieties. I don't think it is a very difficult sentence. It is very easy. So let's see where the problem lies. Sarah has given me 6 dozen pens of different varieties. I think it is also somewhere it is connected with the previous sentence, the 20-day tour, this sentence number 14. If you relate, some explanation I have given you in that sentence also, if you relate it to that, that is the units of measurement. When we use units of measurement, they come in singular form only, they do not come in plural form. In some particular cases they come in plural form. Let me clarify this. How? See, which are the different units of measurement? As earlier I said, ki 100, or you can say dozens, scores, miles. These are the some of the concepts we use as units of measurement, right? So with these units we generally do not use s. So as I say this, we do not use s with these units of measurements. That means, what is the mistake here? What is the error here? Of course, dozens is wrong. In place of dozens, dozen will come, right? So the sentence will go like this: Sarah has given me 6 dozen pens, right? Because 6 dozen word is acting is an adjective here, and adjectives do not come in plural. And of course the units of measurement also do not come in plural. It is just like the same way, a 100 rupee note, we do not say hundreds rupee note, we say 100 rupee note. Similarly, 6 dozen pens. But remember this thing and listen carefully what I am saying. But we can use dozens in some particular case. And what is that case? It is that when we add a preposition to this, right? When we add some preposition to this, then only we can use s with the units of measurement. Let me clarify. Like if I say dozens of copies, then it is correct, because it is in between there is a preposition of. So that's why here we can use dozens. But if I say a dozen copies, if I say a dozen's copy, then it is wrong. A dozen copies are correct. So it goes like that. Let me give you some more examples so that it becomes clear to you. Tens of lectures. Tens of lectures is correct because we have used of, the preposition of, right? So it goes like this. I hope you have understood this. So what is the rule being applied here? Let me once again tell you. The nouns expressing numbers which are used in singular with numerical adjectives followed by a noun. So this is the case. We are using what is the numerical adjectives here? 6 is the numerical adjective and dozen is the noun expressing any unit of measurement. So this is the rule we use here, singular. So let's move to the next sentence. I hope you have understood this. Of course, I have told you the exception also when we use S with these kinds of units of measurement. When it is just in between there, we use a preposition. In that case, we use the plural form, right? So let's see what is the next sentence. Well, students, as I earlier said that in this lesson solutions are also given. So in the further slides you can see the solutions given very briefly, although details are not given, which I have already told you. So you can see the solutions in the further slides.